the Father, the Son. This is all I can send you, Kal-El. It's not who I am underneath that defines me, but what I do. You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. Just because someone stumbles and loses their path doesn't mean they're lost forever. You're making me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I let my father die because I trusted him. Because he was convinced that I had to wait. That the world was not ready. What do you think?
Well, what do I think? Last week, we had a Friday night, like after event. Get my head half cut off there. After the Kiwis and comic books event last week, like every Friday, 3 times a month on a Friday night, about 7:30 New Zealand time, which is kind of late, but maybe almost midnight, 11 o'clock over in the US and so on. We get together with fellow friends, Kiwi creatives, and we talk about other creatives. We have them on as guests, and we just talk about what's going on, events, shows, books coming out, Kickstarters, all that that's coming out in Oceania. Afterwards, however, there was me and Rex, and just before me and Rex, then there was I invited Rex to go and look after the kids and get them in bed, and I had Justin Young, who's a fellow New Zealand comic book creator, very good, right? Draws and writes his own stuff, and he's got amazing work, and kind of the alien horror genre type thing. And we spent talking about copyright issues. You saw the video that I put up. I clipped that. It was about let me just see if I've got it here real close at hand. Probably not. But one of these over here will pop out somewhere, I think. No. It's always the case, isn't it? When you want something right away, it doesn't come up. Dead Eyes, right? Dead Eyes. Yep. Dead Rabbit. And about the lawsuit they had, right? So, and why they had to change the name to Dead Eyes from Dead Rabbit. So that video's out there. You can check it out. I put it up this week. Now, after that conversation about copyright issues and, infringement, cease and desist, and all that, we went through all the details. You can watch that on the video. Just write in Image Comics, $4 million thing, right? But if you're just joining me, hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Now, we spent 3 hours, Rex and I, he kept asking me, what do you think? Why do you think, manga is drawing people away from comics? I'm like, hell, I'm 50 years old. I turned 50 last year, so I'm 50 and a half now. For about over 35 years, I've been reading comics, maybe longer than that. And I've loved this genre. It's like the medium. It's my, I'm surrounded by it. I breathe it. I put on events. I own shops. And what is it about that? Why I now feel like it's not satisfying me as a person for my entertainment. Part of it could be that because I'm writing my own, I don't want to be influenced, and I've mentioned it in the past. But I'm reading manga. All right, I'm reading virtual novels. The time I used to spend reading comics, I now spend on manga, and I spend watching anime or animation. And I had to really think about it. And it took 3 hours. I didn't even want to freaking talk about Disney and all that stuff. And I kept repeating myself. And I found myself, why do you keep saying that? And I realized why I say that is because I don't want to give Disney, Marvel, or DC comics or anybody else the time, my space, my time that I'm talking about it, unless it has to do with what I'm doing, which is about comic books, writing, art, telling people about what I'm doing, sharing about what my friends are doing, letting you guys know what Kickstarters are coming up, what my local friends, people I actually know in person, are doing, and people overseas are doing. They're part of my, wider thing. Either from Niobe, either from Atrocity Press, either from, people like John Stinsman, or Tom Hutchinson, right? And not only that, but all the people that I know through Rising Sun Comics, which I'm a part of. And I've never made any bones about that. I am a part of Rising Sun Comics. However, I'm all about networking, all about independent comics, because I'm one of those. One thing that really came down to it, and I'm going to play this video, right? And I let the whole thing, like the end and the start of the video go in. I don't have any qualms about either person, Electrodry or EVS. I don't, I was asked when I came into comic books in 2019 because I held certain views about how I wanted comics to be, about the story and everything. And people were saying, "Oh, are you part of, Comicsgate?" And I'm like, no, I didn't really know what that was about because of 2019, right? And so I had a look around and I kind of enjoyed what they were saying, but I just realized that I don't want to be part of any group. I like to hang out anywhere, everywhere. And if anybody invites me over, I'll be there, right? I'm like I'm a social butterfly, like what they used to call. However, I do have my own, beliefs about comics and stuff, and I let you guys know my honest views. I am sometimes wrong and I'm sometimes right. But I saw this clip that was posted by another person, and then I wanted the context of it, and then I got the context of it, and I downloaded and I clipped it and I put it up. It's about 9 minutes long, but as you can see, where I start is at about 5 minutes, right? But I wanted to give you the context. I don't want to just be out here telling you, this is what it was about and all this, and then all of a sudden here's a little bit of thing. Because we had this 3-hour conversation about it with Rexillian, right? I was able to really work through my own ideas about why I got drawn away from comics, why I no longer want, I like Western media entertainment after so many years, right? I mean, it's been a long process. It's taken about almost 5 years to 10 years since I watched it go downhill. But I want to play this clip so you're not hearing me yammer away all through this. So I'm going to blow myself down there. Let's go.
So what? I want to read something with some humanity to it, I guess is what I'm saying. Isam's an asshole. These characters are all assholes. All of them are assholes, and there's no reason for that. I know it's hard.
I don't care
This
about
is what I was telling my wife. I was saying to her, it's very important
I want some
that
humanity.
people write some kindness into these superhero books.
That's it.
And actually, what am I doing here?
That's what. I don't care about the book. I don't care about him. I care about what he just said.
Actually write some characters that have love in their hearts.
I don't get that.
Because, like I said, just writing this like
comics anymore, in mainstream DC Marvel,
evil,
the top 5,
snarkiness.
Right? I don't fucking get that
over and over again. I mean, over time, like what do we have to believe in? These are supposed to be superheroes. When I'm creating my own
stuff, I am making sure there's humanity in that. That there's losses, there is friggin' there is gains, there's pain, there is sorrow, there is love, there's kindness, and and I just don't get that. And here's something else I want to look at, right? So Despicable Me trailer 4 came out today. I didn't see it, but WDW Pro put out this video today, and I agree with them 100% about this. And here's the thing, right? So they're talking about, let me just check here. I'm going to play a bit of this, right? And you just
Once upon a time, folks thought the Walt Disney Company was easily the runaway champion when it comes to animated films. That is clearly no longer true. And it may be even more true that another company dominates now when we get to the summer of 2024. Inside Out 2 is coming, and they're going to try to market, literally, anxiety for children because, well, anxiety is the new character. Good luck with that, Disney. Meanwhile, Despicable Me 4 just released its trailer to huge success, viewership, accolades, applause, and everything else. And folks, you're not going to believe the budget for Despicable Me 4. You're not going to believe how little this film needs to make a profit, how much it's...
And here's the thing. People think the more money, the better the product. we've talked about this on this channel about indie movies making better profit, like 100% profit from a $15 million movie, right? Like that one they did about kidnapping, and child trafficking, and actually adult trafficking is involved as well. And how they made a movie for around about 5 million and blew the budget, like about 200 million or something around the world. I also looked at horror movies and stuff like that last couple of years, last couple of months, and because I watch horror movies as well. And I look at all these different things, and you realize it's not the money, it's a damn story, right? It's the damn story. And this is, and I'll show you, this is why I have this thing in my hand, right? Let me just pop that up a bit so you can see. This is why I, as a 50-year-old dude, went out of my way to look for these two little. I wanted only one, but this is a McDonald's figure, right? It was at I was looking for it, making sure there was some available, because this is like an old McDonald's toy, but it was at the Salvation Army last year, 50 cents each, right? Or you could get like a $4 for $1. And so I grabbed them, and there's a couple others up there. And and I'll tell you why I grabbed this. And it's basically what I wrote down on this thing right down here, right? We pop that up again so you guys can, I'll go down there, and here it is, right? And I was watching and I was going, I'm a 50-year-old dude and I love this series, right? Despicable Me. I even chased down, letting you know, I chased down toys to add to my collection. I actually have, is it Gru? Yeah, I think it's Gru, isn't it? And the Minions, I have it all over the place. It's probably in those 6 bins there. But this one's always sitting in front of me, along with this, right? This little thing, and then Incredible, my own toy, right? For my own character. So I wrote, right? I'm a 50-year-old dude, and I love this series. I even chased down toys to add to my collection because I found a younger sister so cute, right? And charming. Why? It's about family, kids, loving, caring people, finding joy in each other. Everything that is missing in 90% of today's entertainment. This is something a comic book writer, I strive for in my comic writing. I push myself to bring escapism that excites, yet shows people caring about each other, no matter what genre the story is set in. If I'm even doing horror, I still got to get people caring about those characters. I got to still have those characters caring about other characters. Otherwise, what's the point? And I find this, that's why I found like this video very, like I'm saying, he said what I'm saying, right? And I don't have to agree with him 100% all the time about it, but he's saying what I'm saying. I don't have to agree about his politics, whatever, right? But I agree on that point, that we're kind of like missing, we're losing out on what's careful.
And like Superman to me is like an avatar for what do we say? We say he's hope, right? Superman, a cross between Elvis Presley and Jesus Christ. Like he's divine. He's somebody who we want to aspire to be. I don't want to be like that guy. And he's the main hero of this book. He's clearly a stand-in for Superman, and he's an obnoxious piece of shit. And he failed. When I'm writing Cyberfrog, and Cyberfrog is like more human than these characters are.
I'll leave the rest for you guys to check out. It's there. It's before this video, right? But at the end of the day, all I got to say on this thing is this. Excuse me. Apologies. Is if you're going to entertainment and escapism, right? If you're turning to say Metropolis, right? Heavy metal movie, horror, animated about a band, that's devilishly, whatever, becomes a cult and all this stuff. Yet, they're a band doing all this stuff and people worship. Yeah, it's fun, right? They care about each other, and it's silly, it's weird, but it's fun. And and then I can pick up something like, let's see here, I can pick up a Lego movie, right? and that's fun. You see about a guy doing his thing, you know, and you get all these other characters show up. So much that, you know, you got Lego Movie 3D, and I've got a friggin' light, you know, time and everything. And the other one here, you know, where's she gone? Oh, I think it's sorting out the other thing. But, you know, stuff we used to like really, you know, look back on art and entertainment to be entertained, not to be saddened. We're not, I mean, we can be saddened, right? What I mean is like, not to go away pissed off. It's like, I mean, we're feeling emotion. What I mean is like, you know, because I remember going away from Power, my brain just clicked. I went, hey, dude, you went away from Power of One and you were pissed off. I saw that at the theater, right, with my youth group, and at the time with like and in Auckland, and this is like about 2000s or something like that, 2001. No, sorry, 91 or 2 or something like whenever it came out. And I remember being really angry. And also I went to see Once We Were Warriors here, a New Zealand movie, and I was very angry after it. But it let me feel emotion, and I never felt like I was hated by it. I actually felt like it exposed something in our culture that we were keeping it hidden in our families and culture, and now it was exposed. And, you know, and then you look at Power of One, it's about racism and stuff like that. And, you know, it exposed that and during apartheid, if I remember right, you know, and stuff. But here's the thing. We cared about those characters, right? And we cared about the black guy and the white guy in Power One. We care about that family, the mother, and then we care about the dude stepping up for his family. But then we realize what sort of situation that was. Now, if you don't care about the characters and the stories you're watching, you are left feeling empty, and your time is wasted. And that's why I felt like recently about, you know, the last couple of years about comics. I remember being, you know, I've mentioned this before, that I had been reading Batman for 20 years, right? And all of a sudden, in my head, I was like, why do I not look like Batman anymore? What is about this friggin', new iteration of Batman, you know, that I just don't like? What is it? I just couldn't find what it was. And I just stopped reading it. And I was like, I just don't understand. And then somebody just said, this is why. And I went, my brain clicked, and I was, you're right. Exactly. I get it now. All this time, I thought I was being gaslighted, right? You know, where I thought I was I was seeing it all wrong. And then to see it like somebody saying, this is why. And I'm like, dude, the brain just clicks, you know? And this way, like I said, like we had this friggin' 3-hour discussion, just me and Rex back and forth. I was trying to answer his questions. And while I'm answering his question, it's late at night. Like we started at 7. We were like about midnight by the time we finished. So it's a 6-hour show, right? I mean, it's supposed to be a 2-hour show. And then we, you know, after party became 4 hours around there, you know, but I was just trying to like really work out in my head what was. And I realized, in short, that there's relationships in manga that there isn't in comics anymore. That's all it comes down to. But I explained in more detail, and you can watch that. It's coming up tomorrow, I think, or the day after, because it's, you know, I don't want to like clog all the videos together, and you know, because that way you guys can turn it off and watch it whenever you want, you know, in your breaks and all that, like I do with long form videos. You can watch it, listen to it wherever you are, whenever you're free. I sometimes I do it when I'm watching, you know, I'll take my mobile phone, I'll put it up there, and I'm listening to Niobe or anybody else while I'm doing dishes, you know, and we'll have the window open so everybody outside hears it as well. But it really comes down to this. There's relationships. It doesn't matter if it's family. It doesn't matter if it's between creatures. Like if you look at Isekai, right, which is I'm doing right now. I'm doing Zolandia, which is between a young girl and an 18-year-old girl. At the time of the story, it's a year later. She's around about 2019. She's an adult, right? And then and then she's been mentored by a dragon, a friggin' dragon, right? In this bizarre world, right, called Zealandia. But if I just don't put anything in there that makes you care about that character, then I'm a useless, I was going to swear, as a useless person as a writer, right? Because I'm not making you care about the characters. I'm not making you care about the story. So why would you ever come back? Why would you ever come back and support anything else I do? Because if I'm not giving you, you know, cute, caring, comfortable, you know, emotional, horrible situations that become better or become worse or whatever, right? If I'm giving you monsters, you know, in a story that I'm, you know, I've got Howling, you know, what's like Nightbreed, something like that, but not really Nightbreed, right? You know, set in Italy in a dungeon in a castle. If you don't care about those characters, why would you ever come and read another comic book that I put out? So my drive has always been with storytelling is make you care, make me care. Because if I don't care, if I don't get emotional about my own characters, how the hell am I going to expect you to get care about my stories and my characters and the worlds I'm creating? You know, I mean, on my thing right here, it says, "Aru, creating comics is my religion," right? And that's very important to me because, you know, I chose creating stories, telling stories over everything else because I love telling stories. That's my frigging golden life, is to tell stories that they get, you know, over time I'll get better and better at it, but I'm trying to be as best as I can in my abilities right now. And but I'm always, you know, I did 3 years of film school. I learned on stage, right, how to write scripts. You know, I rehearsed, you know, 3 years of little skits to freaking feature scripts, right? Hour and a half plays, dramas and all that. Working in my own one, working on somebody else's, working on the kids one, right? And so on, because then I could see how they all reacted. And then I decided, well, you know, I like to go and make films as well and tell film stories through filmmaking until I couldn't with the car accident. So for me, I want you to be to enjoy what I'm creating. And I'm just going to finish off on here. And we've got so much, you know, we want to do. And each story that you guys back, each comic that you buy, each, you know, each time you subscribe, each time you share, each time you like what we put out, helps me and helps our creatives, right? My artists, my inkers, our inkers, right? And our artists and our colorists, because we're trying to bring more people on. The more people come on, the more we can get this out quicker. Now, that all takes money. So I'm trying my best to make sure that the work I do is quality, that I can say, I can put my comic up there right next to this and be just as good, right? I can put my comic up there right next to this, right? And just be just as good because I believe in my product. I know what my stories are. I know who the artist is. I know how much effort and time we spend to make it really good and the time we spend on it. So with that in mind, I'm just going to let you guys go. I'm going to go join Niobe's stream, Niobe comic stream. Catch me over there. Catch me outside. You know, but do please check out my comic book right now, which is you know that I've done with Francisco Conti. He's an amazing artist, and we just heard today. If you saw my you know, if you saw the earlier live stream I did today, the video's up. That the fact is that we are going to get the link is in the chat for that. I'm just going to put this away and I'm going to show you that this is going to be, let me pop that over to there. This is now going to be an animated movie, and the video I made about that is there. And here's the thing. The quality of art in this is just as good quality as art in this, right? And I stand by that. And hopefully my story is just as good. But I know the art you see in this is a type of art you will see in that book, but in color. However, this one, the digital one, is in black and white because we're working on the color now. So please check it out. It's a mature readers, so no nudity in it. It's just a lot of violence and stuff and gore. Because it's a horror. It's a horror comic, right? It's a futuristic horror comic. So that's it. So if you want to pick it up and you're worried about nudity and stuff, there isn't any in there. However, the content and situation is very mature. And also the reason it's mature is because the next lot is going to be always mature as well, and you might see some DNA depending on the story, right? And that's just, I'm going to grade my comics the way I feel like it's worth grading, because I want to keep it in the hands of people that I want to keep it in, and out of hands of people, out of hands of people I don't want to keep it like kids and stuff. So please check it out. I really appreciate you guys checking it out, and I appreciate you if you're watching this for the first time. Please like, subscribe, help us out. And like I said, we want to build something and help us build that. Let's build it together, right? I'll tell good stories. You'll help me out, and we'll tell more good stories and make you care about the characters and enjoy them all together as the artists make my words come to life and my characters come to life, because they're great artists, great colorists, and great inkers. And I'm so proud to be working with these guys. So thank you very much. Ka kite anō, wherever you are, be well, be safe. And if you give your loved ones, if they're close by, a hug, or give them a call. Sometimes it's good to hear their voices, or they might be looking forward to hearing from you, and you don't know when they need that. So catch you later.